Salutations to all my utopians. This is Global here on behalf of Global Utopian Sports. I wanted to discuss this Nikola Jokic run and the narrative that mainstream commercial media is using these days and how they're promoting it. First and foremost, no question, Jokic is a once in a lifetime player. I do really enjoy his approach to the game. I feel like with these combo guards, these shoot first point guards, it's really great to see someone whose game is predicated on overall team concept and teaching the idea that you can, yeah, sure, I can go for 40, but I'd rather get my teammates involved and get a little bit less in order for us to get a W. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. He's a breath of fresh air in this era. With that being said, I see a lot of these on-air personalities talk about the NBA like we've never had skilled big men, or like we've never had big men who could space the floor. This is the first time where, first of all, Giannis has no jump shot. Embiid is cool. Jokic is cool. He's got his range. Yeah, Luka is dominating in today's league, but he was groomed like this, similar fashion to Kobe. But like, we had bigs who could space the floor. We had Karl Malone. We had Kevin Garnett. We had Rasheed Wallace. Mac Dice. Oh, big man, American big man never passed. Like, what about Joakim Noah? And just overall, we had Marc Gasol here for a good part of a decade. Blocking shots. Actually was a better rim protector than Jokic. Probably would, I'm more than confident he would have clamped Jokic. You know what I mean? Prime Gasol versus prime Jokic, he's clamping him. You know? It's not even a debate for me. We watched Twilight Dwight in the bubble put him in his place. Just wasn't their time, to his credit. But with that being said, the international game. Okay, well, why are they coming here then? And if that's the case, what happened with Mario Hedgenoja? Why isn't Evan Fournier playing like he does in the Olympics on the Knicks? Gave him $84 million. They betted on him with all that momentum coming out of the Olympics 4 years ago. I just think it's a very dangerous narrative that we're painting here. You don't have to criticize the old in order to promote the new. And we have a responsibility. That's why, as people with platforms who discuss sports, that's why it's important to bring up the players of yesteryears and remind people, oh, we've never seen a player like Jokic put a franchise on his back. Michael Porter is a legitimate player. Jamal Murray is a legitimate player. Either one of them can go for 30 in their sleep on any given night. Allen Iverson, as a 6-foot guard with no second option, took the 76ers all the way to the NBA Finals, had no one to defer to, and got a Game 1 victory against arguably the most dominant duo of all time. LeBron James, for almost 2 decades, has given the NBA something to root for in June. This is like, why? Why do we have to go there like that? Why does it have to be that way? You don't have to trash the old to promote the new. That's all I'm saying. It's a disservice, We get so caught up in the same topics. Cowboys, Lakers, LeBron. It's like, you start to bro, that's why we have all this rich history. And we should be guiding the youth into going into knowing their history so that they don't look like a bunch of zombies shooting from 35 regardless of height. Everybody gets on the court and they're automatically within range. It's very dangerous. We have to promote. That's how a league becomes extinct. That's how a game becomes expired. When you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. To quote the great Phil Jackson in 11 Rings. You have platforms. Promote. Send the youth to the YouTube channel. It's a great resource. And show them so they have examples. Because right now we got a generation of Trae Youngs, Dame Lillard, Steph Currys, thinking that's what a point guard is. You can go watch Rondo. You can watch a Chris Paul. You can watch early Drew Holiday. You can watch Andre Miller, Mark Jackson. There was real purists, basketball distributors, guys who were like, my sole purpose is to initiate the offense like a quarterback does in the NFL. It's irresponsible to sit up here and market just one way. I don't care how successful. Steph Curry is a one of one. And I'm so grateful that we have a Jokic. But this whole notion of like AAU so bad, so then why every 4 years America's going overseas and smacking up everybody for all that AAU breeding that we're talking about? It doesn't make sense. Why are these players coming overseas in a country that they don't know the language barely, and they're giving up everything, the times with their families to be here? If the league is so whatever you want to try to insinuate, it's irresponsible. There's too many great players who have graced the game to try to sit up here and paint a general stroke of what the league is today. We had Derek Coleman, Sam Perkins, bigs who could really space the floor, you know, facing up. But they try to make it sound like they were all cavemen who just grabbed the ball outlet and dunked. No, incorrect. And even the guy who was most notorious for that, Shaq, he had amazing passing abilities out of the post. You're talking to a guy who's a legitimate international fan. To this day, I've never seen another player like Tony Kukoc, 6'11", southpaw, who can score on all three levels, can see the floor, see a play develop before it happens. I don't even know how the Bulls got him. I always say there's two things I always wish as a basketball fan. My two biggest things I wish. I wish Kobe came to the league before MJ to see who he would have been, because I always felt if he was more like Penny instead of MJ, he could have had way more success. And that's crazy to say that about a guy who has 5 rings. And then the other one is, I wish we could have got Sabonis in his prime. I wish Sabonis came to the NBA earlier. You know how many rings the Blazers would have had with Jerome Kersey and Terry Porter and Clyde Drexler and Sabonis? He would be in a discussion with Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Cab, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's where he'd be ultimately. So, moving forward, I want y'all to get a hold of this. Go to your YouTubes, get your knowledge up, watch the games. The league ain't going nowhere. Now, we definitely need Zion to get healthy. He is the best player in the league. But the league is in good hands. We have a lot of quality talent. Yes, there's a little bit of passing of a torch. There's a little bit more influx of international talent, which is perfectly fine. But just this notion of like we've never seen it before, or we've never had talent in the league, is crazy. And that's exactly the narrative that's being painted. That's not an overreaction. All right, y'all. Global out. Peace and love.